It was a crisp Texas morning when Clara Thompson stormed onto my porch, her heels clicking like gunfire on the wood. "This ranch belongs to my husband now, Jack. Pack up or you're going to jail," she barked, while VYing a stack of papers that looked official but smelled like trouble. Behind her stood two guys dressed like cops, but their uniforms were all wrong, badges pinned crooked, one guy in a hoodie, the other sporting sunglasses in the dawn's half-light. Their radios were silent, props for the show. Clara pointed at me like I was some lowlife. 30 minutes, Jack. Then these officers drag you out." I stood there, barefoot, coffee mug in hand, staring at this woman who'd been a thorn in my side since she moved into the fancy HOA neighborhood 4 blocks away. My ranch, a modest spread just outside Austin, wasn't part of her precious homeowners association. Never had been. My granddad worked this land for decades. Left it to me when he passed 5 horses, a creaky barn, and memories that kept me sane after I retired from the fire station. I wasn't some squatter. "You're trespassing," I said, calm but firm. Clara just smirked. "You think you're clever? This land was promised to my husband before you ever showed up." One of the fake cops stepped forward, hand on a plastic holster that looked like it came from a costume shop. "Sir, you're in violation of HOA Code 47C. Move, or we remove you." I set my coffee on the fence post, stepped down slowly, and said one word, "Leave." That's when the taller guy flashed his badge and opened his mouth to double down, but before he could, my ranch gate creaked open. Headlights swept across them, freezing all 3 in their tracks. They spun around, squinting, and what happened next was something else entirely. Let me back up. I'm Jack Harper, 55, ex-firefighter, VYing on my granddad's 20 acres. It's not much, but it's home horses to train, fences to fix, and a garden I share with the local church. Quiet life? Or it was until Clara moved in. She was the type to strut around in yoga pants, clipboard in hand, barking about my barn being too rustic or my horses smelling offensive. Mind you, her house was half a mile away, and my land was grandfathered out of her HOA's grip. Didn't stop her. She'd show up, whining about puddles or my unkempt fence line. It started small trash dumped at my gate, my mailbox smashed. I filed reports, but with no proof, the sheriff could only shrug. Then Clara tried to find me due la $5,000 for landscaping violations. I took it to City Hall. They laughed it off. She didn't quit. Once, while I was washing my truck, she complained my shirtless self ruined her VYEW. Pine trees blocked her house entirely. "Clara," I said, "the only thing offended here is common sense." She didn't like that. Things quieted for a bit, until that morning when she showed up with her fake cops. Their SUV was a beat-up mess. No plates, parked crooked by my gate. Clara was screaming about code violations and a land transfer her husband's lawyer supposedly filed. "You don't own this anymore," she hissed. I told them to back off, but she laughed. "Call the sheriff. He's on our side." Big mistake. I'd already texted my neighbor, Nate, a former Marine who ran a security outfit. Quiet guy, but sharp. He was on his way. The gate opened, and Nate's black F-150 rolled in, headlights pinning Clara and her goons. He stepped out, security vest on, body cam rolling. "You're on private property, impersonating law enforcement," he said, cool as ice. Clara blinked. "Who's this?" The fake cops shifted, nervous. Nate pulled out a real badge licensed in 3 counties, tied tight with the sheriff's office. "Sheriff's been called. You got 3 minutes." Clara scoffed, but one of the fakes muttered, "We should go." Then Nate's truck door swung open, and out stepped Sheriff Tom Callahan himself, all 6'4" of him, with 2 deputies behind, lights flashing on a patrol car down the path. Clara's face went white. The shorter fake cop froze, hands up. The taller one turned to Clara. "You said this be easy." She screamed, "Don't back down. My husband has connections." Sheriff Callahan didn't flinch. "Face down, all 3 of you. You're under investigation for trespassing, impersonation, and attempted theft." Clara bolted, heels wobbling, but a deputy tackled her gently. Handcuffed in the dirt, she started crying, whispering, "Victor said it was legal. He said we'd own this by next week." They were hauled off, but something nagged me. Victor hadn't shown. This wasn't over. The next day, a court summons arrived. Victor and Clara were suing me for due law $2 million, claiming I'd trespassed on their land and caused emotional distress. Then at dawn, I saw a MOVYing truck by my gate. Victor stood there, suit crisp, clipboard in hand, with 4 rough-looking guys in black. A banner on the truck read, "Property transfer in progress." He waved like we were buddies. "Today's the day, Jack." My crew's clearing the south fence. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was insane. "This is my ranch, Victor. You're not touching it." He kept smiling. "The deed's filed. You'll see." I started recording. "Say that again for the camera." That's when I saw construction stakes and cement bags roll out of the truck. He wasn't bluffing Mint to start building. I sprinted to my safe, grabbed my granddad's original deed, notarized in '71, with a legacy clause locking the land to our family forever. I called Judge Ellen Ramsey, an old friend of my granddad's, and left her a message with photos of Victor's setup. Then I dialed Sheriff Callahan. "I'm on my way," he said. "We found something on Victor last night." Before he could explain, my line cut out. Victor's men were cutting my fence with power tools. I ran out while VYing the deed. "This is legal, county stamped. Back off, or you're all arrested." Victor snatched at it, but I pulled back. "That's worthless," he sneered. My lawyer filed new ownership. Then sirens hit. Callahan's patrol car skidded in, followed by 2 FBI SUVs. Agent Laura Klein stepped out. "Victor Thompson, you're under investigation for land fraud, forged deeds, and unlawful seizure." They'd traced his deal's fake signatures, ghost companies, a notary who'd been dead for years. Victor's clipboard hit the dirt as cuffs clicked on. But as they dragged him away, he yelled, "This isn't over, Jack." I wasn't alone. My stomach dropped. Who else was in on this? That night, Callahan sat at my kitchen table, flipping through my EVY Denke box fake HOA notices, forged signatures, altered photos. "This is no small-time scam," he said. His radio crackled. Someone had tried to pull my birth certificate and tax records from the county. They weren't just after my land. They were trying to erase my claim to it. At 2 a.m., my phone buzzed. A woman's voice whispered, "They know your deed's real, but they'll claim your granddad had dementia when he signed it. Get proof of his mental state." The line died. I drove to Dr. Sam Whitaker, my granddad's old doc, who handed me cognitive exams pro VYing his mind was sharp. But when I got home, my barn was smoldering arson, the fire chief said. My granddad's workbench, my tools, all ash. Nate showed me a security cam photo. Clay Warner, a county clerk and Victor's buddy, holding a gas can near the barn. We set up trap cameras, drones, sensors. That night, a VY Deo came from an unknown number. Clara, bruised and crying, said, "Jack Harper forged the deed. My husband's just taking what's ours." Victor's voice hissed in the background. This was blackmail, abuse, and proof Victor was pulling strings from jail. Then came the knock. A sleek SUV sat outside, and Senator Henry Vaughn introduced himself, all smiles and pressure. "Sign over the land, Jack. Your troubles vanish. Plus due la $750,000. I recorded every word. "You're covering for Victor's fraud," I said. He leaned in. "This ranch is blocking a major development. Investors, donors, politicians, theory counting on it." I told him to get lost. He left a card. 48 hours to decide. I took everything to Sally Monroe, editor at Hill County Press. She ran the story. Rancher targeted an HOA land scam. It went VY Row. Calls flooded in VY Tims of similar scams, offering support. But the enemy got sloppy. Someone cut my power lines. Nate's generator kept us lit. Then, at midnight, I spotted Clara by the tree line alone, shaking. "I left Victor," she said, handing me a map of targeted properties, bribes, fake deeds. "I'll testify." Headlights flashed. 2 men from a Jeep hunted her, armed, shouting, "She belongs to us." Nate radioed Callahan. I hid Clara behind a shed, threw a horseshoe to distract them. A gunshot grazed a tree as we ran. Nate got Clara to safety, and Callahan's team swarmed in, cuffing the thugs. Clara spilled everything. Victor's HOA board, shell companies, and Senator Vaughn's ties to a land scam targeting retirees and vets. By sunrise, state agents raided HOA offices. Victor's bail was revoked. Vaughn resigned after Sally aired my recording. My deed was upheld. Lawsuits dropped. The Texas AG opened a probe into Monarch Holdings Incorporated, the shadow group behind it all. A national news crew asked what kept me going. My granddad said the land tells the truth. I told them. I stood my ground, and it protected me. The story exploded. Monarch's Miami office was raided, millions in illegal transfers frozen. 90 families got their land back. I started Landwatch Texas to fight HOA fraud. Clara, now divorced, volunteered, rebuilding her life. But one morning, an unmarked letter slid under my door. The land still belongs to us. A black card read, Monarch Holdings Incorporated. The pawns were down, but the kings were watching. What would you do if someone tried to steal your home? Was Clara a VY Tim or a VY Lane? Should I hunt Monarch Holdings or let it go? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, and subscribe for more real stories of fighting back.